Alrighty. My first time trying to film myself doing this. Want to see how this goes. Right now, I've been working on this RAM now for about 30 hours total. And it's the second painting in a series I'm working on. If anybody's been following my work, the tiger I completed earlier this year. And I named it Curiosity. This particular painting, like I said, I've been working off and on for the past couple of months. I've been working on this one for about 30 hours. I'm doing some new stuff this year. I'm keeping track of the time it takes, excuse me, for doing these paintings, so I'm actually keeping almost like a time clock where I clock in and clock out when I'm working on them. That'll help me when I'm processing these too. So this has been drying now for about 3 weeks. Anyway, so this one I'm naming is Overcomer, with this ram on the rocky hilltop, overcoming some rocky times and everything, and curiosity. And so my idea behind this series that I'm working on is I'm doing a series of animals, and I've got certain, and they each have a meaning behind them. And so the curiosity is opening up to new things. You know, I'm known for doing all of my landscapes and beachscapes and all of that stuff. And me recording myself doing any work when I'm working on this stuff it's a huge step. So I'm overcoming a little bit of anxiety and fear with this. And so I had gotten this new camera, so please forgive me if it's not A1 perfect or anything. But I'm putting myself out there. I figure, you know, I've entered this national contest, and thank you to everybody who has been so supportive of me in the People's Artist Contest. I just got through the third phase. I'm in the top 15. And everybody that has really been supporting me on that, I'm so appreciative of that. So, doing new things. Just trying to expand my horizons here. So, and this is new too, getting into the details of this type of work and everything, and learning. And you're going to see me as I'm painting this, making some mistakes and going back, correcting them and everything else. I'm not a teacher of art. You know, I'm a student. I figure I'll be learning till the day I die on this. But I do know some things, you know. I started some art classes and everything to get me more into the realistic ends of work and just kind of fine-tune my work and everything. So I'm just trying to get myself together here, organizing my work and get myself in that mode where I'm painting. And if this all goes well, I will continue just uploading videos of anybody that wants to see some artwork come to life. And watch me make a fool of myself at times as I'm working on this art. So, I need to get some medium on here. I am painting this in oils. I'm not using any particular name brand on this stuff, although I am a fan of the Old Holland, which, you know, can be kind of pricey. This isn't, the paints I'm using right now are not the Old Holland though. These are just some generic brands, but they seem to be doing the job good for me. Alrighty. So forgive me if I'm not like a lot of these other artists that have all their stuff together with several different camera angles and palette. You can see their palettes and everything else. I'm still learning. This is my very first time to do this stuff. So I am using a reference that is non-copyrighted. I actually paid for the licensing to be able to use some of these references and everything. And even doing that, I try and deviate from what the original reference is a little bit and add my own style and my own ideas into it. So this is not just a copy, and it's not going to look like a photocopy of anything. So right now I'm in this phase of where I'm working on the details. And I'll play around with colors and see how it's working, and if it's not working the way I want it to, then I'll move to something. I'll make some changes and adjustments. Oh, what did I do with my... There it is. I don't really need it right now, though. One of the things I've really struggled with too is like this fur stuff. The fine lines can be tricky. And who knows if people are interested in it. If I get comfortable doing this type of stuff, then I may start doing some live streaming. Hopefully get other artists on there with me. I know like with Evolve we had study groups where we'd all meet online and stuff like that. It went a little bit over on that. So let's start back in there. Put it back in the shadow just a little bit. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to do this. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking while I'm doing this, but again, I'm just trying to get comfortable even filming myself and having people watch me work. So... And this can be tedious, you know, it may even get a little boring. If that's the case, what I'll do is parts where I'm not talking, I'll just kind of speed through some of the video, which I've still got to learn how to really edit it the way I like it. I'm trying to get a little painting in before the grandbaby gets here. But I thought, you know, since I am with this people's artist, it's really pushed me to start marketing myself a little better. I've given a bunch of paintings away as gifts, and which I enjoy doing to family and friends. But also sell my art. And in the past, I've sold some for, you know, a little bit of money. But I began to realize that the more time and the more detail I start putting into these paintings like that, I used to be able to kick paintings out in just a few hours, and I can still do that, but nothing like this and this detail or this scale. it takes days and different steps and material, and so I figured, you know what, if I'm gonna be professional at this, I need to start gauging the time and the resources I'm using and start putting that into the price. I can't keep just selling myself short and expect to be competitive. I've been struggling with his face a little bit. I think I got the proportions, all of that just right, but it's I think I'm in that ugly phase, and every artist will tell you that their paintings go through an ugly phase, and the face of this right now is in its ugly phase. So I intend to work on that a little bit more, but I wanted to get some detail up in here, and I have gotten too light up here. I need to put some dark in here. And you'll see me go back and forth. I'm hoping that me doing these videos, people can see the work I'm putting into these and see that I'm learning as I go too. But yeah, this is working. I need to put that back in the dark because this is going to be in the shadow of this horn here. So I need to bring that down a little bit. Yeah. So it pushes that neck back and brings that forward. Do the same thing under here a little bit. So I figure I'll work on probably this part right here. Then I'll call it quits for my first video of this. I hope people enjoy it. I also thought, with people that have been supporting me, some people have even given money to help me in this. And I've never asked anybody to spend money on the competition. But if you do, I am so appreciative of that. It is helping me stay in the running. So we started off in this competition with, they've got several groups out there, and nobody really knows exactly how many groups are out there. But the groups that they had, several groups out there with an average, I believe it was between 80 and 90 people in each group. And so the very first voting session, I'm covering some of this back up, narrowed it down to the top 20. And thankfully, thank the Lord, I've been staying actually within the top four range. I think there was one time I dropped to fifth, but then up to second, and then down to third. And it's all dependent on people voting. That's a mistake. So yeah, I'm having to darken this back up, and then I'll go back and add fur here in a minute. I need to get this shadow really established here. Yeah, see, I need to bring that face forward a little bit, so I need to put this in shadow. But anyway, we're now in the top 15. And last that I checked this morning, I'm in third place right now. At one point, I've jumped up to second. I was in fourth for a few days. It's like somebody come from way below and just jumped up there. And, I've seen some fussing and some complaining by other artists out there of like, this is not a real art competition, da-da-da-da-da. And no, you're not being judged by a panel of other artists judging your brushwork, your colors, chroma, all of that mess, material to, the subject matter that's in there, how things are angled or things are centered. No, we're not being judged on that. We're not being judged on the quality. But what I have found with this, and it is being promoted by Johnny Depp, that's what really kind of turned me on to it, was that it's forcing us to market ourselves a little bit. I've never just, I'll post things on, I haven't been on Facebook regularly for a long time. There's just so much negativity. But it forced me to get back into the online stuff with people and kind of push myself a little bit to reach out to people and say, hey, do you like my work? If so, please vote for me. And it'll push me even further down the road where I can, when I finish paintings, and I've already got one individual who's a relative, of course, who's really wanting to buy some of my work. And I want to sell him something, but I told him, I'm like, I have given away and sold most of my work. So I'm beginning this new portfolio with this theme in mind. And I'm just asking, be patient. I'm going to keep working. And I want to give him a variety of paintings that he can look at and make a decision on what he really wants. Now, I also mentioned to him that, hey, if you wanted to do a commission with an idea of something you would like to see, give me a shout. We can do that. Last he told me he's going to think on it. But Sam, I haven't forgot about you, buddy. So all I'm doing right now is I'm just shadowing this out right here. I'll go back in here in a little bit and add a few more details, but I needed to bring this forward some. The only way to do that is to darken that up. And I'm doing a mixture of gray and Mars, because I'm not trying to do pure black or anything. Big no-no. But I can even add, as I'm doing this, some illusions here. Actually, I'm having a little fun just... Thought it was going to be weird at first. I'm going to be talking to myself. Really? I know that this will be... I'll post this video and I'll be talking to all my friends and family. Kind of give y'all a sneak peek into my studio here. My happy place. That is. Establish that. Notice I'm working with this really small number 2 round brush right now. My workhorse is my filbert brushes, and then my liners and stuff like that. But I've gotten most of the block end done here. Now I'm trying to refine it and start putting some details in there. And I started with some details over here and down here, but not entirely happy with all of them. this is going to need to be brighter. This kind of comes up and around like this. So I need to reestablish that. So it's kind of like that. I need to get some blues here. A little bit of red. Blizzard crimson, actually. See how that looks. Ooh, that got dark. I need to go that dark. Just. Alright, let's see here. There we go. I just want to reestablish my form here. Let me grab the filbert. Told you, it's my workhorse. This just wasn't looking right to me. Reestablish the roundness of that nose a little bit. There we go. Having to add some medium to this would be that fat over lean process. It is having a hard time sticking to it. Come on. There we go. Keeping this in the. There we go. I'll come back and add some details to that a little later. Ram's skull is just, doing the face, I found it just, it's weird. It's just different. Alright. See, I've got to establish some darks in here. There we go. Seeing now the way this one comes, so like this is going this direction. So it's kind of rounded that way. This part just kind of fluctuates down. Then this kind of sinks in a little bit. There we go. Just a little bit. And yes, a finger tip can be used in painting. You'll find when I'm painting, I'll jump from one area to another. Something will catch my attention. I'm like a squirrel in a field full of nuts. Jumping from one place to another. now I'm going to have to brighten all this back up a little bit. Get some of this. Just mixing some paint over here. Establishing some values with the color here. Kind of mixing it. Here. So I'm going to continue working on this painting a little bit. And I'll record until I can. Again, I'm not trying to bore anybody. But myself, I could sit and watch artists paint all day long. But I'll tell you what I am going to do. Since I'm right here by my computer, I'm going to play a little bit of music because that's just what keeps me in the mood for working like this. And I usually play it off of YouTube and stuff like that. I gotta I'll make sure this isn't too loud. Alrighty. We'll decipher now. Go. See, now I need to put this into some dark here to kind of bring that underneath a little bit. I'll come back over this in a minute. Push that back down. That kind of rounds over here. Yeah, that should work. He's got a light coming through there. I'm telling you, it's weird the way that their face is. It's almost like it's smiling at you at times. See, this even curves up in there like this. We'll work on that some more. But again, everybody that has been voting for me on the People's Artist, thank you so much. You can do a free vote every 24 hours. And that's all I've really been asking people to do, is just vote every day and try and get as many family and friends as you can to vote for me, you know. The more word that gets out, the more that it's shared, the more that people get on board and they share and vote, the more likely I am to maybe be able to pull a win out of this. I'm happy one way or the other. I'm going to continue painting. But I just think it's really cool to just kind of see who all's willing to support me out there with this, and kind of motivates me to keep generating some new stuff. And my plan is I'm going to try and generate some new videos if I'm successful with this. So again, the curiosity with my tiger led me into starting a new venture here, new series, building a new portfolio, using new subject matter that I'm not real familiar with. And Overcomer here, get me to overcome anxieties of putting myself out there, even on a video. I may do a live stream at some point when I get really comfortable doing this, and just see where this road takes me. I know there's several artists out there that have been doing this and putting out videos and stuff, and I just think they're really cool. I'm like, man, I don't know if I can measure up to some of the work they do and everything. But do I want to keep working on my face? See, and this is another way I work too. Sometimes I get to a point where I'm like, let me sit on that a minute, let me think about it, come back to it, and go over to something else, work on that. So you'll see me bounce back and forth all over the place with these things. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that face a little more. I want to start getting it established. One of the things I'm noticing is I do need to. I'm not happy with this. I need to. Noticing that needs to come up a little more. Seeing this actually kind of comes up a little more. There we go. So it kind of curves under here. Yeah, that's looking some better. There we go. One of the things I'm noticing is that there's a little bit of brown tint around it. Certain areas here. So, like right up in here. Even curving up in here a little bit. Maybe a little bit too light. Bring that down a little bit. What I'm using here is just a burnt umber. Yeah, that's better. I kind of out this other round here. This really needs to be darkened up a little bit, and I think what I'm gonna do is this blue gray. Mixed with a little bit of see how this is going to work. Oh, that just really worked. Let's add a little bit of this to it. Oh, when I'm doing this, I'm going to follow it now. Which actually, this might not work under there. What I need to do is darken that up. If you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm kind of playing around on my palette right now, trying to come up with a color that I feel would work good here. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead. This mouth right here is driving me batty. It just looks cartoony, and I don't want it to. I'm just establishing a shadow there for now. I think I know what it is. That right there probably needs to. Just gonna darken this up. Because this is really in the shadow with some reflective light coming on it. I noticed that it's also a little darker under here. So I need to do that. I think that's what it is. Alright, that's not that, so I went too far. So I'm going to establish get this in the shadow, and then I'll come over it with detailed light source, or not light source, but some lighter values. Just right now I'm establishing the form, and then I can worry about the details of the fur. This part will be highlighted. That's really all I'm needing to do right here. And I'll do the same. I'll just bring that on up here. Get that in the shadow. Lighter shadow, of course. Now this, I need to darken that back up. Good thing about me doing this video the way I'm gonna do it. If you want to turn it off, you can. Where was I going with this phone? That is going to be going down that way. Same thing there. See, and that's kind of what I did here. I need to darken that back out and then come back with details later. I just got to get through the ugly phase. Pushing through it. Get my form established. Worry about details in a minute. I just want his face to look right. Back up from it. See, like my reference photo has this big white spot on his nose, and I don't like it. I'm not putting it there. To me, it's distracting. I don't want anything to distract. If anything, I want the focal point to be right up in here. That's why you'll see these lights here. It's to draw the eye back up here. His focal point needs to be the eyes. I want you to be lost in his eyes and in his face and his features, and everything's kind of faded in the background with all of this. They have different eyes too. That was something else as I was researching this animal and looking for reference photos. Their eyes are so different, and I'm noticing. See, I'm jumping back and forth. This is me. I get distracted with something, but I saw something. I don't want to forget it. My wife will tell you I've got the worst attention span. But in his eye, I noticed that there's this little dot up in there. It's kind of like that. I'm telling you, their eyes are so different. And his pupil needs to be darkened a little bit more. It's almost fading back there. I just need that to be deep. That's what's weird too, is their pupils are kind of, they're not just round, they're it's like an oval almost. Established. Don't want to pitter patter on it. That needs to be established there. And then again, because I want it to be the focal point anyway, this will be the brightest spot on the painting. It'll be right there in his eyes. You don't want too much. Matter of fact, I may push that back a little bit. And then I need to darken this up around his eyes here. Oh yeah. That eye's popping. I do need to adjust the bottom where it looks like it's going to pop out. There, that's better. Oh yeah, I'm liking the way that's looking. Oh yeah. Now I'm happy with that. But I need to establish some more dark up here. Yeah, that's got the effect I'm looking for. I'm happy with that. Okay, let me pull my filter back out, because this form down here, right here, there it is. I'm really wanting to push that back into his neck a little bit. I need to put some hold on there. There we go. Oh yeah. Now we're working. Now we're cooking. That kind of comes down like this. Kind of rounds up here. And there's this other spot that just kind of comes down a little bit. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay. Oh, there's another spot in his face. So yeah, I'm jumping back and forth between here and here. There we go. And there's... actually need to move that one around here a little bit more. That actually needs to... Well, clean that filter. And I've been going for about 50 minutes now with this recording. Tell you what, I'll do a few more details into this. Let's see here. And I probably will post this on my Facebook page. Kind of talking to myself right now. And if you guys have enjoyed this and everything, you know, leave comments. Let me know what you think. If you have any advice, I'm always open to hearing people's suggestions and everything. Just don't be mean about it. Realize I'm putting myself out there. This is me going way outside my comfort zone. I've never really liked being in front of a camera or anything like that. That may be why I'm able to kind of do this, because I'm not directly in front of this camera. My work is. And that's a new thing for me. I've never had anybody just watch me work, because I will fumble around, I'll make mistakes and go back and try and correct it and everything else, and sometimes my paintings will look a complete mess. And I guess that's that ugly phase that I always struggle through, because every painting must go through its ugly phase to start getting into the way you want it to look. And a lot of times I'll get up and walk away from a painting to come back with a fresh brain. And actually, this has been sitting. My last login with this, where I sat down for about 5 hours, was about 20 days ago. So yeah, with working and everything, it's hard to find the time to be able to come in and sit down and paint. Especially with Stephanie and I running our side business, we decided this year we're only going to do market every other week to give us a free weekend. Just so happened we're able to do it this weekend, and we're going to get a grandbaby's going to come stay the night with us. We're going to take him to church in the morning and spend some time with him. Give his parents a break. Let them get some rest. We initially were going to do it for 2 nights, and we both got to talking. We want to enjoy not that we don't enjoy having him around, but we're like, it takes some energy. Being a parent is a young person's game. Especially to a baby. He is so sweet. I love that baby. He's a happy baby, just always smiling and laughing and everything else. He's crawling now, trying to stand up. Won't be long, he'll be taking off, then we're really going to have our hands full. Just that. I know what I need to do with this. I need to just darken this up just a hair more, so that when I come over with the details, it'll really pop. And I'll tell you what, I'll record and start working on that so y'all can kind of see what I'm talking about. I'm going to round this. Now remember, fat over lean. Which just means I'm having to add oil to the paint so it will adhere to those underneath, so that like right here, oh my goodness, maybe because I know what I needed fresh filbert. Let me grab one of my others. I bet you that's what's going on. I've still got some of that. Yep. It's kind of erasing it. And that's because I had cleaned that with some Gamsol, and it's probably still in the brush, so I'm going to move to a fresh brush. I didn't let that dry completely, so that's just a rookie mistake. There we go. That's starting to cover a little bit. And unfortunately, I guess I could move this closer. There we go. Believe it or not, I'm wanting to get started on another painting, and what I may do is I may work on this a little bit more. I haven't said anything to anybody, not even Steph, about this other idea that I've got. Of course, I'm going to continue with this portfolio with these animals with themes behind them, but there's a I've been studying it, and I guess I've been a little intimidated by it, but I feel like I've got the knowledge. There's a portrait. I'm wanting to start maybe even look at, like I've dug into this, getting outside my comfort zone and maybe doing some portraits. I've got one in mind that I'm really wanting to work on. I've been thinking about it for weeks now. And I've been studying, watching techniques from other artists that are like masters at doing portraits and stuff like that. I feel like I've gotten some knowledge. And I may film myself doing it. Realize you're going to see me learn something from the ground up when I do it. See, I'm just establishing the form here, just getting the shapes right and everything where they need to be. Like this here, back here, I need to put that into some shadow right there. We'll do that. Now this is the challenge with me trying to film, is this camera's kind of in my way. Let me see here. I think I can do this. Kind of push that ear back a little bit. Not as much. I wanted it to. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about the length of my video. I'll just do it until either my camera shuts off or I get tired and need a break. There we go. Kind of pushed it back a little bit. I really need that to darken. Just push that back. There we go. I don't know, maybe if you're still watching this with me, you see how things start to form and take shape, and I don't know, it's something I find enjoyable. Even as I'm doing it, it's just really fun to do, to just take an idea and make it a reality on a canvas. Mindful here. Okay. Now, I would say we're ready for a few of these lighter details up in here. to make sure that paying attention to where things are on this. It's kind of weird the way this need to be careful not to lose some of the dark behind there. And this fur, I mean, the fur is new to me, working with fur like this. And again, going off my own knowledge and watching other artists that are experts in doing wildlife and stuff, phenomenal artists, can only hope to be as good as some of them someday. I've been painting for, gosh, since I was a kid, but I mean, I'm just, some of these other artists out there, they just, I mean, it humbles you and makes you realize, hey man, you've still got so much to learn. And it took a while for me to even start calling myself an artist. Even though I've sold paintings and people really like my work, I guess it's true when people say your biggest critic is yourself. I'm just always striving to improve and do better. Been several paintings I've done, there's only a few that I've finished and I'm like, yeah, I'm proud of that. Like, I am not proud of that mark I just made. See, in this fur, it kind of comes down. He's not thick fur. Sometimes you just need to do just put the idea that you got fur in there. Mainly just doing different values of these colors to establish some depth. Hoping I'm really not shooting myself in the foot by putting all this detail in it, but again, just like me filming myself right now, it's me just kind of pushing my boundaries a little bit, trying stuff new. If I don't like it, it's just paint. I can always go back and redo it. Notice that some of this just seems to get a little bit longer down here. I will say though that my focal point being that eye, I'm really happy with that. So the eyeball is done as far as I'm concerned. But I am finding doing these details is kind of fun. It's tedious though. Lots of details. Right now I'm staying in the shadows. I'm gonna move to the lights here in a minute. But again, if I'm going to be doing these videos, and as long as I'm in this People's Artist competition, might as well talk about it. Please continue to vote for me daily. If you're kind of wondering what it's all about, it is a fundraiser for the Art of Elysium. So those that have been given money for votes and stuff, even if I lose this thing, the money's going to a good cause. From what I understand about Art of Elysium is they provide art forums and place for artists that are helping people who are struggling with one thing or another. Like I said, it is being promoted by Johnny Depp and everything. And I just found it really cool to be involved in something like this. Right now I need to warm this up a little bit, I think. Trying to see how this fur is going to go. Try to look at some of this right here. Let me see what that looks like. No, I don't like that. Clean that up a little bit. Put back over there. What? And even though I got music playing in the background, I don't know what copyright stuff is and all of that. I'm not trying to use it to sell anything or anything like that. It's mood music for me from artists that I really like. This particular band that I'm listening to is Decipher Down, a Christian metal band. And I like rock and I like some metal. I just love music and everything. But I love uplifting music too, you know. And I'm trying to be closer to God and everything else, and I want to do what's pleasing to Him, and I don't want to do anything that's offensive to Him. There we go. Straighten that back up. All right. So I guess what I'll do is I'm going to continue with these grays, establishing this fur and everything in different areas. I'm noticing though that there's a mixture of some darker values to make this work. So it's I want to make sure I'm going with the form here. So I do need to. This is, of course, me learning this fur and stuff. Having to jump between a few colors because You want, it's all about the values and everything, and trying to get them just right, and that is something I can struggle with from time to time. So it's like you don't want it to look flat, so you have to add. So like, see me adding some of this dark in there, bring it back to life. I just need to keep working. I know that this is going to round this way, so I need to make sure that I got my fur. You don't want your fur going all in the same direction, but you want it to kind of flow evenly. So and I can brighten some of this up, although this is still technically in the shadow a little bit. See, it really makes these pop when you do that. So yeah, I won't be finishing this painting in this sitting. I can already tell you. I mean, goodness, I've already been working an hour, and this is all I've gotten done. I've gotten the form reestablished over here. Haven't even gotten into the details of the face with that fur. That's going to be a challenge. That may be why I'm kind of holding off on even working over here, because I know that it's a challenge. I'm trying to get this to working. The fun part though is when I start bringing this back over into here a little bit more, because this brighter needs to come over here, because the light is actually technically hitting him along this line here. I've got my light source coming from this way down to here. Which technically you can't really even see the part that I was talking about. It's coming from this direction. But we'll see. I got to get some browns up in here, even though I got the brown as the block in here. And I did it messy on purpose, because to me it just adds to the character of the animal. Speaking of which, I do need to add some of this into this up here. Some of this burnt umber. I don't want it to be flat back there. I don't want it too bright either though. There we go. So yeah, whoever ends up owning this, if you get to see the video too, you know you're not going to see all of the work that went into establishing all of the background and everything else. Again, I just got this camera, which I'm happy to have. It's really cool. I'm waiting on another piece of the equipment to come in with it. Give me just a second. I'm having to adjust this. Right now I've got it clamped on my tripod with something that's actually meant for a cell phone, but I've got a piece of equipment that's supposed to be coming in tomorrow that'll be better. And maybe the more I do these, the more I'll improve even on doing the video stuff. I'm actually kind of excited to be doing this. That's too much. Sometimes I have to sit here a minute and figure out which way I want to go. think what I'm gonna have to do is establish some more darks up in here, so that when I do, so yeah, that's what I'll do. Is I'll do like some dark fur, and then I'll come back and work on this some more. In the meantime, I'm gonna stop the video. I gotta charge the camera back up anyway, and I will come back and record some more. And what I may do is just put this out in pieces. So this was my very first recording of me working on a painting. I've still got a lot of work left to do with this, so I'll do some more video capturing and everything else as I'm working on this. But again, one last reminder, today is May the 23rd, so I'm still in the running in the People's Artist, so please go and vote for me and share it with your family and friends and get them to do the same thing and to vote and to share with their family and friends. And who knows, I may end up pulling out in the end. The grand prize for the first place winner is there's a $25,000 cash prize, which, don't get me wrong, that would really help me out in one way or another. I've got some bills I could get paid off, and I'm eventually wanting to establish a website with my paintings and everything. And now that I'm starting to do these recordings, I may even incorporate that into the website. I got so many ideas. But aside from the cash prize, there's a 2-page article minimum for the artists in the Art Forum magazine. So it would really give me some exposure there. And my work would be displayed in the Art of Elysium salon that is located in Los Angeles. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to win this. I don't know how well I'm going to do. There's definitely some artists out there that in my opinion, are so much better than I am, but I do love what I'm doing, and I love being able to create these things, to be able to give it to people and see the smiles on their faces. When I'm putting in this much work and effort on some of these paintings, though, I'm really having to charge more. So just keep that in mind. But I will see y'all in my next video. I'm going to stop this so that I can get the battery charged on this camera.